Hello, IE team. Kwezi here. I thought let me actually record a video for one of the questions that you asked, which is what is one of the riskiest things that I've done and what was the outcome of that? I think I've done quite a lot. I've run my own startup. It wasn't successful. I did not do very well in high school. I had to upgrade my marks to get into varsity. But I think the one that actually resonates with me more was when I was in varsity. I did very well. I think, I was getting, top grade marks. And I actually attended a bursary in one of the construction firms that actually wanted to recruit me as a quantity surveying engineer. I spent, I think the first time I was exposed to a real job in that sector was when they actually had asked me to go to Johannesburg for an internship. And I spent about 3 weeks on site as a quantity surveyor in a construction site. And I realized then that actually this is not the career that I wanted to pursue. And I had a tough decision to make, which was look, you can either come to this company, work off your 2 years, and live the rest of your life off and pay off the money and leave, or you can leave the company, pay back what you owe, and end up in an environment where one, you don't have finance for to carry on with your studies during your honors year, and secondly, you actually have to pay us back, and thirdly, you don't have a job because you'd have to go job hunting in a market where jobs were very tight. So I decided to take that risk, and I found myself in this scenario where one, I mean, my parents couldn't afford to pay for my studies, so I had to get a bursary to complete my honors year. And two, I had to go around shopping for jobs or a job, and I didn't even know what job I wanted because all my life I wanted to be a quantity surveyor. So I didn't know, and I was out in the abyss. So I'd say I lived with a lot of friends and living in couches. Once I got a career, once I got a loan, and I was lucky enough to get a loan to finance my studies for my last year. I went door to door printing 70 CVs and heading them out door to door. I actually flew up to Johannesburg from Port Elizabeth at one point for an interview that I was called into, and the team had actually told me in the last minute that they don't want me to come to the interview, but I was at such a point where I was like, look, I've made the booking, I've booked this flight, I've taken out the last living cents that I have, and I'm gonna come there for this interview. So I went to Joburg, printed more CVs, going door to door. I landed an opportunity to go for an interview at one of the investment banks here called Rand Merchant Bank. It didn't work. And then I landed an opportunity to actually have a telephonic interview with Accenture. And I found myself in this phone call, doing this interview. And I was actually fortunate enough to have actually, been able to build a case for myself via it. Got to a final round and actually got the job itself, which landed me in management consulting, an industry that I've been in since I've started. So I think in hindsight, probably the best decision I've ever made. Thank you. Bye.